Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot. Let's have a little chat. I actually put on my story today, which when you see this video will probably be about a few days earlier, just how people are feeling about the South African economy and our future, or their future in this country. And to be honest, it does feel very doom and gloom right now, and even I feel that way. If I am being honest, like, it just feels like all the conversations are about how South Africa is literally going into the pits, or South Africa is the pits, and our rand just keeps depreciating and load shedding just gets worse and worse and worse. And obviously then we had this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I read an article where a US ambassador for South Africa basically went out and said that South Africa was supplying weapons to Russia. The rand literally plummeted after that, and then obviously a lot of South Africans were like, what the F? Like, did we actually supply weapons to Russia? So it's just been very intense, you know what I mean? And a lot of us are thinking, we're young, we still have a long career ahead of us, we want to make money, we want to be able to invest, we want to be able to buy a house, we want to be able to save money, we want to be able to go on trips overseas, but those things just feel like they are slipping away from us at the moment. So it's a lot. It's heavy, it's heavy, it's heavy. I think I'm making this video because I'm kind of thinking that we're all feeling the same, and sometimes it's nice when you know that other people are kind of feeling the same stresses that you are. But I think as Fashionably Financial, it's also my duty to kind of uplift, the mood, the feeling about our money, and maybe rather come up with solutions to the problems. Obviously, we cannot save the current state of the economy. We can, obviously, with votes and getting all political and that kind of a thing. In my personal opinion, I do think that there's a lot of corruption in South Africa, so Andre de Ruyter kind of vibes. That's the political side of things. What can we do as South Africans? Now, when fan like this, the first thing we want to do is get our money into dollars, right? That's generally the first conversations people are actually having. So I want to talk about investing offshore. And I did a video about this maybe 2 years ago, I think it was, but I think it's time for an update, a refresh, darling. So there are two ways that you can invest offshore, okay? One is through a unit trust investment, where you invest in rand denominated funds, okay? What this means is you give your rands to an asset manager. Think about Investec, think about Coronation, think about Allan Gray, think about Old Mutual. They might have specific minimums that you have to meet, and generally when it comes to offshore investing, it is a little bit higher. Let's talk about the second way that you can invest money offshore. This way involves converting your rands to dollars. Now, is it the best time to be converting rands to dollars when we are currently sitting at 19 rand to the dollar at the time of this video? Maybe not, but we only think about investing offshore usually when we feel our economy is going to. So maybe now isn't the best time. Maybe you'd want to wait for the rand to come down just a little bit so that you can get more dollars out of your rands. I know, it doesn't seem possible, but these things do happen in waves. So what you're gonna do then with this second way of investing is you want to convert your rands to dollars, And then you take your dollars and you invest it in an offshore unit trust fund. Again, with Coronation, Allen Gray, Investec, Signia, these Sanlam. These are some of the top asset managers that I'm talking about right now. And basically, they will take that money and they will invest it in offshore funds. Okay, you need to do your research on which funds, what's in the fund, what shares, what assets make up the fund. Okay, this is only the process of going to get that investment. There's also easy equities which you can use, and typically I think with an easy equities fund it's more accessible, maybe a bit more user-friendly for our generation. You know, we love to work on our phones, apps, all that kind of thing. So easy equities is also a good option. Now, let's get into the requirements. South Africans are allowed to take 1 million rand offshore per year without having to say, I'm taking it offshore, okay? And that includes your travel allowance. So if you've gone overseas and you spent 100,000 rand, whatever it is, that is included in your 1 million rand that you're allowed per calendar year. So from the 1st of January each year till the 31st of December each year, you are allowed to take 1 million rand offshore, okay? If you want to take more than 1 million rand offshore, this is for the rich people out there, then you do have to get SARB approval, okay? And in total, the maximum that you can take offshore is actually 11 million rand. So your 1 million from your calendar allowance, your single discretionary allowance, and then you've got an extra 10 million that you can take offshore, but you have to get SARB approval. Okay, otherwise it's illegal to do that. So South Africans, that is how we can maybe secure our financial future a bit more. If you have the money, that's also the thing. If you have the money to be able to invest offshore, I think it would be a good idea to do that. Is now the right time? I don't know. Because the rand is sitting very high at the moment, which means that you're going to be getting only a little bit of dollars, okay? It might be a good idea to wait until it comes down a little bit and then invest offshore. But again, I don't know. No one knows. Is it gonna go to 24 rand to the dollar? Is it gonna go to 16 rand to the dollar? This is the thing. It's all based on speculation. But the thing that we have on our sides is time, okay? We are young. I'm including myself, reaching 30 this year, but I'm including myself in this we are young conversation. We do have time, and that's why it's important to make smart decisions right now. So investing offshore, yes, it might be at 19 rand to the dollar right now. It could go up to 24. I don't even want to say it could go beyond that, but it's going to come down, okay? And then you'd be able to invest more money. So investing offshore should actually be in your long-term plan, your long-term financial plan to grow wealth for yourself. Okay, so just a recap. South Africans get a single discretionary allowance where you can take 1 million rand offshore each year. Okay, how to do that? You can either invest using rand-denominated funds, which means the funds are in rands, okay, so you don't convert to dollars, but you get access to offshore markets. The second way is through investing in purely offshore funds, which means I take my rands, I convert them to dollars, I give them to an asset manager, they invest in a unit trust fund, and then that unit trust fund is offshore, in offshore assets, in offshore companies. Again, it's your responsibility to look into the funds, right? And see what offshore assets and what offshore companies are you going to be investing in, okay? And then obviously it goes without saying that you do need to look at the fees too, because nothing is for free. So there will be fees attached to that, and it's important to look into that. So you need to do your research. Let's not live in the doom and gloom. We can only control ourselves and what we can control. So let's do our best to invest in our future selves. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope I gave you some hope for the future, and hopefully you start that offshore investment soon.